Hello and welcome to Mindful Making at Ballesbazaar. This is a podcast about making, it's about knitting, it's about sewing, so all types of making, and welcome to episode number 3. First of all, thank you so much to those of you who've subscribed, have commented, have been so encouraging and supporting after my first 2 episodes. It warms my heart. So thank you very, very much. And welcome back if you're a returning viewer. If you are new, welcome to this little corner of the world. I am Danish and I've lived in Australia for the last 6 years. And I am broadcasting from my home, which is in Hornsby Heights, north of Sydney. Today it is Sunday, the 14th of October. The last week it's been raining, so we've been indoors, and I think we're getting a bit tired of the rain. We want to have some warmth and some sun, but for me it's been perfect because I've had time and opportunities to work on my sewing, which I've done a lot, and that's mainly what I will show you today. But there will also be a bit of work in progress of the knitting. If you want to find me on social media, I am Mindful Making, and I'm also ballesbazaar on Instagram. On Ravelry, I'm ballesbazaar, and I have an Etsy shop called mindfulmakingAU. It does sound a bit complicated, doesn't it, with all those names? So I am thinking whether I should combine them all, but I won't do anything as of yet. So I'm happy that you're here with me. I have lined up everything around me so that I can show you. It's very calm in this corner where I sit, where my eyes fall behind the camera. It's a bit chaotic, I must admit. I am preparing for a fair. I will have a stall at the local school. They have a fair in the coming weekend, so the Saturday 20th of October. And I've basically been frantically sewing up things, so I have something to sell and present. So this is what I will show you today. So let's start with news from the sewing room. Last time I showed you these produce bags, and I have sewed up more of these, so I think I probably have 25-30 bundles of 5 produce bags. What I've also made is, so these are then made of an old curtain. It's a very pretty flower pattern in the curtain, so I've called this style Grandma's Garden. These have double string bags, so you can pull them. I can actually find one because some of these have untangled. So it looks like this. So you can then pull them in like that, which I like very much. And I had to find some new strings. So these are, I think, Baker's twine cotton strings. So you can see this pattern here. It's very pretty. So there are probably 20 of these as well, and I have a third one which is the shiny leaf style, which is also a curtain that I found in one of the local thrift shops. So I like going there just to see what I can find and what I can use. And you know, I'm just thinking, instead of buying new fabric, I want to reuse what is available. So mainly what you will see today is sewn and made from reused material. let's move on then. So that's the produce bags, and move on to napkins. So why use paper napkins? You know, when having dinner at night, and paper napkins, it does require water and trees to produce the paper, even though that paper can be recycled. I thought, why not do some everyday easy napkins that you could use for, you know, for dinner, for lunch, and just when your family having food. So this is one of the piles of napkins. So this is it was bed linen, and I've then made it into napkins. And the lower ones, they are identical, and the top ones have different patterns. So you can see this one is like this, and we have another one that looks like this. I think they're very pretty. I would love to have them on my table and use them, and then you can just throw them in the washing machine and reuse again and again. So that's one style. I've done another one, so I'll just pick it up from what I've put around here. So these ones are more neutral in the color, brown, black, different styles. So I actually bought, this is also a bed linen. I bought these for ourselves because I thought they would look really pretty and work with our sort of colors and our white plates and black mats. Yeah. But of course, then now if they are sold, they are sold. So I will do, I think, packages of 4 or 8 like this, and have a nice string around them. 100% cotton, reused material. Love, love, love. Wouldn't that be nice on the table? It looks really pretty. I'll put some picture on Instagram as well, so that you can see how they look when setting the table for dinner. There are a bit of leftover of that fabric, so I've done some reusable makeup pads, you know, instead of cotton pads that you use to remove makeup every day. I have sewn up packages of 8 reusable makeup pads. Is that what they're called? So I've put in some old cotton sheet as well, so they are nice, and they're not thick, but they do have some volume in it. They're all a bit different sizes, and because it's quite tricky to do a plain and what is it called? A right circle? No, it's not a right circle, but a proper shape when you're trying to move the fabric around in the serger. But I think that adds to the charm. So they are slightly different. I've made some where, you know, from the napkins you saw before. So this is actually the wrong side out. But I really like this more subtle color on these. And then I had some which where the inside is red. So it just gives, it's nothing, it's the same on this main side, but you can just see on the edges that the red is inside. And then a few leftovers from the blue napkins, and and they look like this. And so there are 8 in these, and you can then use them, and you can wash them, and then they're ready to use again. But instead of having them, everywhere in the washing machine, I thought maybe it's good to have a bit of control over these small pads. So I've made a few washing bags, and so this is left over from the produce bags from the grandma garden style, and I've put in a zipper, and then you can put in the makeup pads in here, close it again, and put it in the washing machine. So I have actually one here that has some pads in it, so I think that would work well instead of having them everywhere in the washing machine and not easy to dry, and I think that's cool. So I have a few more that I can make of these. So that was produce bag, makeup pads, napkins, and then I thought, napkins for kids' birthdays. Why not make them of fabric instead of using paper? So I found some sort of more child-friendly motifs on fabrics, and what I thought was also, instead of using single-use plastic cups for for the drinks, why not use leftover glass jars as the glasses for for the cordial or for soft drinks for the kids. So a suggestion for how to decorate could be, this is just I think it's a marmalade glass that is reused. You can add name tags and a bit of string around if you want to. And then I've made these napkins. So this was, again, a bit linen that I found in an op shop. Very, very cute if you have a winter theme for the birthday party, or Frozen. You might even have bit linen at home with the Frozen theme on it, and you can make them yourselves. So if you just add a paper straw, you would have a nice set decoration for the table. The size of the napkin is a bit smaller than the adult ones, and they would all look different. But I think they're very, very cute. And for all kids' birthdays, there is that lolly bag at the end or in the middle or whenever, but there is certainly a lolly bag. And instead of the plastic, I have created so now I'm reaching over again, created a fabric lolly bag that will go in a set of napkins and lolly bags, and a drawstring bag for the lollies, and each you can then add name tags as well, or each will take a lolly bag and they can reuse that at home for small things in their room if they want to. So I think this is really, really pretty. So maybe for a little boy or a girl, but I do have another style as well. The style depends on whatever fabric I can find, and of course the time that I have available to make up things and create. So the more girly style I found was this as a napkin. So it's a more circus unicorn type theme, which are very pretty. And the accompanying lolly bag, again a string bag. And then add a paper straw and a glass, and you have your birthday decorations ready. If there are some left after the fair at the school, in the weekend I will put them up on my Etsy shop. They're not yet there yet, but maybe there will be more. Isn't that cool? I find it really, I like this idea. Trying to reduce the amount of plastic and single use. So I like it. There's still a bit more to prepare for the fair. So just the last thing, and then I won't bore you with any more of that fair. This will be a bit of bunting at the shop. So I'll just make triangles and put them on a string. So a bit of decoration for the stall, and then finally, this is also Bitland, a double, I think, Juno cover, and I will make this into fold-up market tote bags that you can just fold up and have in your handbag, so you always have an extra shopping bag with you. Yeah, so still something to do. So as you can see, I've just lined everything up around me, but I think that covers what I will have at the shop. The final thing though is that I bought some cotton tote bags that I will, so they are plain neutral color, and I will then offer the children to come and stamp print on them, because I have some stamps or some blocks that my granddad did and my grandmother used a lot, and I have them here and I want to use them. And so I thought I'd make a station where kids can make one a gift for their grandparents, and then make a print on a cotton tote bag, but I will show that later. I haven't received the bags yet. I didn't have time to make them all, so I've just ordered online from China, and they will arrive soon, I hope. So that concludes then the preparation for the fair. So let's move on to the knitting part. I have worked on the gift knitting for Christmas, and have you started yet? We talked about gift knitting in episode 2 as well. And I talked about a little discount on my patterns, and there are 10% off any patterns in my Ravelry store called Ballesbazaar. All my patterns 10% off, and there are 2, so plenty to choose from. I plan to do much more. It's just a matter of time and energy, I guess, but I think that will also be the focus next year. In the last podcast I showed you Agnes, and I just want to pull up a picture of the other shawl that I have. So sorry, I just have to pull it up here on a picture, because the original, the shawl is called Lily, and it's named after my mom, and I made it for her birthday, and it has been shipped off to her, so it is with her in Denmark, and I hope she likes it. So I can't show you the sample here, but I can show you the picture. So this is what it looks like. It's a beautiful crescent-shaped shawl, very large, and you can wear it like this, or you can wrap it around your neck like a scarf. It's very easy. It has a wavy pattern, but it's mainly garter stitch. There's not much purling in that scarf. It's a very easy pattern. And the yarn that I've used is my current favorite yarn. It's the Coast yarn, and it's a cotton, 50% cotton and 50% wool blend. And the main color is this lovely pink. So I have full cones of this yarn. So this is the color that I've chosen for the main color. And then the stripes are in, so, oh, let me just check this. This is called Fairy. And then the darker pink is this beautiful pink, and this is called Plum, I think. Yeah, it's called Plum. Very, very pretty. And those two together are just adorable. Yes, and then the white, and this is called Écru. So this is the white, it's a neutral white that I've used for the stripes, and then this grey one, which is charcoal. So these are the 4 colours that I used in my version of the lily shawl. Just see if there are more. So this is what it looks like when wearing it as a scarf. I hope you can see that. It's a bit shiny. Very, very pretty. It wears very well. And of course you can choose any color you like, color combination you like, and basically any yarn. I actually can't remember the gauge that's on this, but it's a fingering weight yarn, so any fingering weight yarn would work. But it's 10% off at the moment until the end of October, so please go and check it out. It's there ready for you. And on my needles, I am making the second Astrid Jumper, and it's gift knitting, and it's a I will show you, and it hasn't, I'm not finished yet, and there are a lot of ends that needs to be weaved in, so it's a bit messy, but here it is. Might be a bit of light coming through here, and this time I knitted on these coloured bands down the sides and under the sleeve as I knitted the sleeves, instead of sticking open and adding them later. So in this side I have sewn up the seam, so they sit like this, and I've just yesterday evening I just picked up stitches for the ribbing at the waist, and it is a cropped top or cropped sweater, so it isn't, let's see if I put it here, so you see it's very short in the body, and of course you can lengthen it if you want to. There are some ends to weave in, as you can see, but this will be done in a few days, I think. And last time I talked about the neckline being too wide, and now I was just worried because I found that it was too small. So I had to redo it yesterday, but what I found out was that it was this edge here that wasn't stretchy enough. So I unpicked that one and made a new one. So this works better. This is size 34. Yeah, for a young girl. So that's what I'm working on now. My plans were to continue with a male jumper. I don't think I will start that next week because I need a bit of space in my head, so I think I'll just do a bit of dishcloth knitting next week, just to relax and not worry about stitch counts and decreases and increases. So I think that will be what I will be working on. So I think that's it for today. I hope it wasn't too rushed. There are a lot of things that I will put in my stall at the fair. So if you are around Sydney and want to come and have a look, it's at Hornsby Heights Public School. It's north of Sydney. It's Saturday 20th of October from 10 to 4. Maybe I'll see you there, and hopefully I'll get in a video from there, or at least there will be pictures that I will put on Instagram, on the Mindful Making account, and also on Ballesbazaar account. So I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough of my frantic sewing lately, and I will be looking forward to seeing you soon again.